And it's us, live again, talking about pouch rat things. I'm just getting over that. Go on, you can explain what just happened like 3 minutes ago.
Well, there's a banner in the background that we normally have. It's not put up properly because it's about 7 feet tall and you wouldn't see the rats, you would just see writing. So what we'll do is we'll fold the pole in half that goes at the back and sort of balance it, and normally it's fine, and about 30 seconds ago it crashed to the floor with a massive smack and we're like...
It wasn't that noise, it was the noise of going
vroom.
I don't know, I imagine there was some vacuum cleaner or something that just started up in the background.
All on its own.
Well, no, do you know, because I was just about to pick that up and show you that thing that I've got here that I've been building, and then oh god, that was that gave me a heart attack there.
Yeah. Anyway, we're just sort of looking at each other now in shock and laughing, but.
Well, I was laughing. You were laughing, hilarious, but yes, good evening. I'm glad I'm a source of entertainment for you.
It was excellent. Anyway, what have we got on for tonight?
Well, as is always the case of recent, there's not huge amounts, but there's one big event that's coming up tomorrow. That's always a nice thing when it comes around. It doesn't come very often, and that is Chinese New Year, and especially because it's the year of the rat. So we've got a couple of things. Do you know, I was tempted. I was going to print some stuff off and have a nice background or like Chinese style stuff
and lanterns and
just didn't have time.
Another thought I've had is that we're meeting your brother and his partner, aren't we, tomorrow? We're going to go out for a Chinese buffet, weren't we?
We were.
Can you imagine how round it's going to be?
Do you know, I never thought of that.
I didn't. We might have to review that.
Or we might just have to book something.
Yeah.
Just in case. But some really fascinating things, because my best friend when I was in primary school was Chinese, so I got to see a bit of Chinese New Year and how it's celebrated when I was younger. I remember it fairly vividly.
Fantastic.
All lanterns and colourful and things, but never really knowing huge amounts about it. But so doing a bit of research just for this, and so the years that are covered. So if you were born in 1948, 60, 84, or 2008, or obviously born
1996, which was when my eldest son was born,
would be rats.
Yeah, how lovely.
And I quite like the Chinese have a different culture about rats than we do. They see them as so anyone who's born in the year of a rat is considered to be quite smart, resourceful, imaginative, lacking in communication skills, but can come across as quite rude or obnoxious. Very, very good at being thrifty, saving money, but also very, very good at wasting money, which seems a bit stubborn, timid, and potentially greedy. So yeah, I mean that kind of sums up what rats can be like in general anyway.
Yeah, and the rat is the first animal in the Chinese zodiac, and it symbolises a new day. It
is the number one. So what I was reading was that you have to have yin and yang, and the rat is considered yang. They fit into one of either.
Right.
So yeah, it's quite. And I was trying to teach myself.
This is an interesting bit.
What's that?
It's common in China for people to pray to the rat if they want to have a baby and they're having trouble conceiving.
That is, well, yeah, I saw, because they're considered quite the what's it call it? Very, very good at breeding.
Yeah, they could have prayed to Bob and Lolo, because up until Bob had his nads off, they were massively good at breeding. We had to stop it.
Exactly. We've got some of the, I was trying to work out some of the language, because I was trying to translate something that you sent me the other day into Chinese, and discovered how difficult it is to get my head around Chinese language. I mean, I think to speak it in general is very difficult. Japanese, I think, is maybe a little bit easier, but still quite tricky.
No idea. Anyway, you can have a go.
It'd be one of them that I would, but I'll have a go at some of these words. Now, what I found fascinating is that they don't have separate words.
I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
They don't have separate words for mouse, rat, hamster. If it's small and rodent-like, it's one word.
It's a rat.
And you might prefix it with certain things that would kind of imply what it is, and they find it strange. So I stumbled on this. I looked up on Quora, and it was people discussing this, what a rat's called in China, in Chinese, and saying that they refer to them as like a type of rat. But a mouse, but they find it weird that we have different words for mouse and rat that sound completely different. And hamster and gerbil. They would call it, for example, a gerbil.
Riesen hamsterratten, which is Gambian pouched rat or hamster rat in German. Yeah.
So they would in Chinese essentially, you would call a gerbil a desert rat. You would call a mouse a field rat. You would call like a pet rat a pet rat.
So how would you call them all of these things in Chinese, Lewis?
So shu is just
Lao
rat.
shu.
You can't go going ahead.
Sorry.
Lao shu is rats. If you were going to pluralise.
Okay.
Lao shu.
So more than one rat.
Lao shu. Kang shu is a pet rat.
That's quite pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, Kang shu.
Kang shu.
And I saw that someone was asking, how would I say I have pet rats, or how would I imply that the rats I have are pets, and as opposed to a pest, and say, Kang shu, kind of house or pet rat is one.
Yeah, we've got Kang shus. Yeah.
Well, we have Da Lao shu. Da Lao shu is a big rat.
Da Lao shu.
Da Lao shu is a big rat.
We definitely have those.
That's a word that they would associate that with like a wild rat,
right?
More so than a pet rat.
Still fits with the pouchies, doesn't it?
But yeah, I find it quite funny.
Da Lao shu.
I mean, I'm saying all this, and there could be someone who watches this going, "Well, I'm Chinese, and you're talking a load of crap." So I could be completely wrong, but it's.
What's the Chinese for horrible, stinking, and destructive pestilence rats?
I would be curious. I really don't know. I didn't think of Googling
Maybe
that.
that's one for next time.
Maybe. I would be curious what the translation of... Maybe while you're talking some bits later, I can quickly see if I can find what you would roughly translate pouch rat into. Because I didn't think of checking that, to be honest. I was scared of maybe trying to pronounce it, but I feel like I'm willing to give it a go now. What do you think?
I just want to say hello to some people who are here tonight. We've got Do Up 54. That's Bob, isn't it? Got Suri Blanche, Maggie Kennedy, and Chloe Brown. Oh, Chloe, really nice to have you on board. Chloe's been really super supportive. Actually, she's one of our committee members in the UK, a new one, and yeah.
Well, I got to meet her parrot.
Which
was great.
Yeah, which was a real event, and to meet Chloe and Simus as well was lovely. We know so many people, but meeting them in person's another thing, isn't it?
Indeed. So your bit of reading today was into some of the... Because there's really interesting stories, isn't there, about the zodiacs and...
There is, and I'm going to have to read from a script, and that's okay, because
so you haven't
saw
memorised
it about
it.
5 minutes ago. The Chinese zodiacs have a story. Each one has a story behind them. The Emperor said that the first... Stop clattering!
Sorry, I was going to translate it. You just... I'll type really quietly.
You can't. That's a really springy keyboard. Anyway, getting back to the story of the Chinese zodiacs, the Emperor said to all the animals, the first to get across the river would get a year of the zodiac in their name, in the order that they appeared. The rat, the smallest, was believed that it would be unlikely that a rat would win the race. He was small, not a great swimmer, but he had intellect, and using this intellect he convinced the ox, being strong and able to cross the river with ease, to work with the rat and allow him to sit on the ox's back. When they neared the other side of the river, the rat hopped off and won the race.
And become the first.
And therefore the rat
By
is
cheating.
the first. Yeah, is the first in the signs of the Chinese zodiac.
I know it was the first, but...
Through cunning and wiliness.
To be fair, ours would jump off our backs and win a race if they
And
could.
riding on the backs of others.
I've just translated pouch rat. It's Daishu.
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 Daishu. If we have anyone that's Chinese that's listening in, or...
I'd be curious how correct that is.
Yeah, anyone who knows anyone who's Chinese would be brilliant. And Maggie's sitting and the rat didn't even get wet. Yay!
What I find odd, though, is that they say the rat wasn't a very good swimmer. I think they're quite good swimmers, if they need to be.
Well, we've tried to bath rats before. We've had a go with the pouched rats in a little bit of water in the bath, and it didn't end well, did it? They don't really seem to like it, although some people, got a friend called Liz whose pouched rats will happily hop in the bath with her and have a little swim around.
But the pouchies are different. It's not the year of the pouch rat. I wish that was it.
Every year's the year of the pouched
Daishu
rat round here. Daishu. That's really nice. And there's a Chinese symbol. Maybe we should have that tattooed somewhere.
I'd want to know it was correct.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be risky.
I'm going to guess that there probably isn't any in China, because I can't imagine they're the sort of animal that would have made it over there.
There's another story connected with the Chinese zodiac.
Okay.
And it's called Why Cats and Rats Hate One Another. The cat and the rat were the best of friends who would spend almost every moment together. Both were excited when they heard about the great race. You can tell I'm a teacher, can't you? The cat decided to take a nap before the start of the race, and the cat said to the rat, "Wake me up before it begins." You know what I'm like for sleeping in. Sounds like us, doesn't it? The rat, wanting to win the race more than anything, thought, and instead of waking up the cat, he snuck past the cat. The cat was fast asleep. When he woke, he discovered the race had finished, and he was devastated, even more devastated to find out that the rat had won. So this is perpetrating the rumours that rats are sneaky and sly and underhand.
I'm not going to deny that when they're nicking my toothbrush and...
Yeah, I concede.
I'm not going to deny that.
From that moment, the cat swore he was always going to hate all rats and always chase rats whenever they saw them, and that is where we are today. It's quite a nice story, isn't it?
It is an interesting take on it.
Chinese people celebrate New Year for a long time. It's not just one day. It's a further 15 days, and they finish with a lantern festival.
Yeah, that's the thing I remember most, is that.
Beautiful.
I had a friend.
Yeah.
So do you know what Chinese zodiac you are?
I'm the goat.
You are the goat. I didn't know if you'd know, so I looked
it up.
You're a goat.
Not very inspiring. I'd much rather be a rat or something attractive. What are you?
Oh, have a guess. What do you think I am?
I think you're probably an ox.
No.
Snake?
I'm the only thing that isn't real.
Dragon.
I'm a dragon.
Oh.
Yeah. It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really cool.
I like being a dragon.
I would rather be a dragon than a goat.
Oh, you're a dragon, just not the same.
Fire.
Just a different type of dragon.
So happy Chinese New Year to anyone who's out there who might be celebrating.
No, I thought we could have a bit of a laugh at some of... there's lots of merchandise. This is kind of a big thing. And I saw some of these things popping up anyway, and I thought, I'm going to have a look and just see what are some of the things you can buy if you were into buying Chinese Year of the Rat.
Yeah, and varying degrees of tackiness. Let's have a look.
What could you have? So let's... if you're into your whiskey, you could have a Blue Label Year of the Rat bottle of whiskey. That
is really pretty, actually. Most of the things you see regarding Chinese New Year are red and gold, but that's really nice. I don't like whiskey, but nice design.
That was something that Kira sent me.
My dad would like that.
We've got a mug. Don't get the same reaction, does it?
Oh, I don't know. It's not that bad. I like the alligator at the bottom.
I don't know what the purpose of the alligator is.
That looks very much like a Keith Haring drawing. If anyone was fortunate enough to be around in the 80s, you might remember Keith Haring.
No. So we've got the rather fetching one. Do you know, I would actually use that for work.
I think that's quite sweet, actually. And not too tacky. It's not too tasteless.
I will post links in the description to all the things that I found in case anyone does want to treat themselves to something.
Oh, good idea. I know a lot of people collect rat things. If I see a rat ornament,
I
usually buy
do.
it.
I think the whiskey's quite widely available. I think the mug was coming from China, so I don't know how well a mug would do if it was being shipped. Plus, I'd be worried about it coming with free virus at the moment. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that in a little while, I guess. Yeah.
I quite like these.
I'm not. Those.
I couldn't pull them off personally, but
I could.
You could pull them off.
I could rock those toms. Yeah.
And I can't remember. Let me check how much they weren't that expensive actually. They are in the UK, for anyone in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right, I got that wrong. They're a bit...
A little bit pricey. You're paying quite a lot for that little label.
Have they got...
Have they got... What have they got on them then? Oh.
You've got the ones on the side on there. Yeah, I thought they were quite... You know, they're not something you see only every time it's the Year of the Rat, I guess you're going to get this sort of thing. But I thought they were quite nice.
Limited edition, they're quite sweet.
I mean, I've never heard of the brand. You probably
I have.
Yes, you know them. We've got... Have a guess what that is. Without looking or trying to read, have a guess what you think that is.
Is it kind of like headphones or...
No.
Something electrical?
It's electrical.
Right. That's quite sweet, actually. What is it?
It's a USB stick.
Oh.
You pull the rat's nose off and out comes a USB stick.
So you pull out its insides, in other words.
Well, you just pull its nose off, and it's a USB stick.
That's really quite sweet. We don't use them at work anymore because they're apparently a security risk.
I don't think anyone uses.
No.
I have a huge box of them in work. We used to get sent them all the time. I have a huge box of them, and all I do is take the ones that were like decent size. And the rest of them just sit there because they're not really. We've gone beyond that. That's what's mad.
It's true. Yeah.
Right. Next on the list, we've got a rather fetching mask.
A mask?
It's a mask.
That is actually, you can walk around wearing that.
Yeah.
I quite like that.
This was actually one that they would be used in the like parades and things.
Right.
So,
I may have a job interview coming up. I've made a couple of applications to go back into SEN, special needs teaching. If I had to do a lesson demo, that would be great.
What, to just come in wearing... I think you should go to your interview wearing that.
Yeah, just go to the interview and wear that. Yeah.
Just say, hi, I'm Claire, I'm a rat.
Act like nothing's different.
Yeah.
Hello.
Just pretend that nothing... Yeah?
Yeah, the lesson that I'm going to do, if I'm asked to do one, is going to be hero rat themed.
Oh, I think that'd be nice.
Yeah, I've got plans.
You can give all the students
Just
T-shirts.
need to get an interview. Yeah, exactly that. And get photos of them and everything.
Yeah, that'd be nice, actually. And finally on the list we have...
They're quite sweet, actually.
They're quite sweet. I was looking for some... There's a certain style. So these are kind of like more authentic than some of the ones I saw, but they look like bears, I think. I guess maybe that's...
Well, they're kind of teddy bears with big ears, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're...
Yeah.
So, I thought they were...
Because that you think of the red and gold, don't you, when you think of Chinese New Year?
Oh, you do, because it's the colours.
I'm pleasantly surprised that bar the mask, most of them were quite tasteful, really.
You don't want to know what I was searching for. I was trying to find the worst things.
Right.
Just to see what cropped up. And I was quite pleased that I couldn't. No, you don't want to know what I was searching for.
What were the kind of sexual or something?
Yeah.
Really?
No, I couldn't find any. I was looking to see if there was. That just shows where my mind goes.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
Well, I thought that would be funny if we could find them. But
it would be.
They don't. No, they
We're
haven't
all
gone that
grown
far.
ups. It would be all right.
I should have gone on Wish, actually. There's probably like
the
Year of
things,
the Rat underpants or something.
Rat dildos, and there'll be like all manner of things on Wish. It's a
Year of the Rat butt plug.
Constant source of amusement, isn't it? Plastic rat pants.
Some of the things that pop up in your... What's disturbing is that they pop up in your recommendations.
I know. I've got lots of dark secrets.
Is it because you search these things in your spare time?
No, it's not.
You must search them in your spare time.
I would be a bit surprised if you're hacking my account and like long-handled arse washing tools and things.
That sounds quite useful.
When I turned 50, I actually got a lot of these mobility aids adverts coming through. I think they're just the algorithms that just know, don't they? And there was all manner of things to make life easier.
I find the adverts very scary, because
maybe we should move on.
I know how they work. That's the scary thing. Yeah, we can. Let's go back to yeah. There we go. So we've got them. We've got some new pouchies in the community now, haven't we? I think that's all the Chinese New Year stuff we've sort of covered anyway, or at least what I found. Unless you can think of anything else.
Yeah, please chip in if anybody can. Oh, Annette's a goat. Annette, we know you're a goat because you and me are almost cosmic twins.
Yeah, if you're born the same year,
Well, we're born a day apart.
exactly.
Annette and me, we're almost twins, which is, I can't think of anyone I'd like to be twinned with more, so that's lovely.
Is that like being twinned of a town, but you get twinned of a person?
Yeah, definitely.
Can I refer to you as Claire twinned of Annette?
We're at soulmates, aren't we, Annette? It was lovely to see you.
We'll get you a little plaque on the front door. Twinned of Annette Reynolds.
Twinned with Annette Reynolds. I could have a tattoo. Add to me rat tattoo collection. Anyway, new pouches. The pouches that we're mainly talking about, 3 out of 4 of them have actually come from this house.
But there is some
really
that have come
lovely.
elsewhere, but new ones in the community, I think, since the last UnPouched or between. But
There's a lady and a family have taken on. It's quite a funny story, really. She got in touch via the Facebook group and said, "We're taking on this rescue rat. Me mum really likes it. I'm not so sure." And she's absolutely head over heels in love with this grumpy, smelly rat who he was a little bit out of condition, wasn't he? He was a little bit a little bit bedraggled when she took him on, and within a couple of weeks he just looks fantastic. So credit to you, Chantel, that you've brought Hoggle round and had your first cuddle today.
Yeah,
Magic pictures.
Yeah,
lovely.
Always good to see.
Yeah, to see him happy and confident and having maybe a second chance at life, really.
Yeah, it's always good when they move, when they get rehomed and they do well, because it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it is. The babies normally settle really easily, don't they? They walk in and think they own the house. One of ours, unfortunately, hasn't been so fortunate, and it's not to do with anything that anyone's done or hasn't done. There's absolutely no blame attached to anyone. He's just moved and hasn't settled.
Yeah, I think there's some that would stay and be happy staying, but you can never really tell.
No, and it could be absolutely anything that's freaked him. That is the problem. Poor little Clark. He's over in Belgium with an excellent owner. He just doesn't think so at the moment, and we're hoping that something will happen to.
It might just take
change
time.
That. Yeah. Gus Jr., the father of the litter, is called Gus, and Mary Ann really imaginatively named him Gus Jr., which was really sweet.
I thought that was
actually.
quite sweet.
We love that. He straight away went in with a female older lady, a female companion, and they absolutely love each other. Binky went to Monique and Martin, who already have 2 rats from Holland. And he came along to make up the third, walked in there with these 2 adult males and decided that he was the boss.
Yeah, but he's just plonked himself right in, hasn't he?
And he just owns the cage, which is lovely. So we've got one little man that needs a bit of work, but the others on the list so far have been massive success stories. And
well, Celine's taken on a female as well, hasn't she? So that might help bringing him out of himself.
Yeah.
Just going with someone might be what he needs.
It's a massive concern because we're not doing this to turn a fast buck or anything. They always feel like our babies first. They kind of remain our babies.
Well,
and
you
still get worried if they're not well or if they're unhappy.
You still feel emotionally attached when you're still sitting there of an evening and then you can't concentrate because you're worrying about them.
Definitely.
Even though they're miles away.
Yeah. I mean, we're not breeding them for breeding's sake. It's kind of a vocation it's turned into with us. It's a real passion. I felt the same about the fancy rats, to be fair, but those of you who are into pouches, which I guess is why you're watching this, will know that they really tug at your heart.
Oh, they do.
They really get in there and they have a massive impact on everyone. They're really special animals.
They do.
Okay, we've got...
Oh, we did that at the same time.
5 minutes.
We've got 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
I put down something that we may have discovered that might be useful.
Well, in my day, bearing in mind that I'm quite old, I was born in 1967.
That doesn't make you old.
In the 70s, people used to sneak a bit of whiskey or something into their baby's bottle to make them sleep. I think later on the generations were given Calpol. I don't know how people thought Calpol made them sleep because there's nothing soporific in it.
Paracetamol.
It's paracetamol, but there's always been this sort of, I wish the child would go down and lay down to sleep. We've found a trick, haven't we? We've found a drug. We've found a pouchy opiate.
Yes.
And what is it?
Chicken.
It's chicken.
Chicken.
Yeah. Chicken with the bones on. It doesn't seem to be chicken breast or anything like that, or chicken curry or any of those things. I cook a whole chicken once a week, and that means that we get the chicken and then all the rats get the
Well, we've been making
bits.
a note of this, haven't we? So we
We've kept
noticed
track
it.
of it, yeah,
We've been writing down who's awake once. So you would cook the chicken, and on the nights you do it, and it's not the same day. It varies. So we mixed that up. But it's always the same time, which is kind of when we would have our dinner. And we have our dinner, I
so
think,
you're
later
looking
than
about
most.
maybe 7:30 when the carcasses cool down. They're getting a little bit. You try to get them up at 9 o'clock. 9:30. 10 o'clock. Shaking them, poking them. And they're so zonked out with a belly full of like chicken and cartilage and chewed up bony things.
And they sleep through the whole night.
They do.
Lovely and quiet.
We're having a night away from my birthday. We're going to a hotel and a spa and just having a bit of time for us, which means the pouches will have a night on their own. Guess what they're going to have before we go?
Drug them up on chicken.
Yeah, we're just going to drug them up.
It's just surprising that it does seem to have worked. So we've I think 4 times we made a mental note of the times they were getting out of bed normally, and then the times after the chicken. And there is a distinct, like, I'm not getting out of bed.
Chicken is tramadol for rats, isn't it?
I think it just must take so much energy for them to digest it once it's all in there. They're like zonked out.
Yeah,
so.
It must fill their little bellies up. And bones, incidentally, we've been asked this question quite a lot. Can rats have chicken bones or can they have lamb bones? Well, yes, they can.
Well, yeah, we've not seen any problems with them splintering because most of them gnaw as opposed to
Well, they'll gnaw pieces off, but they've got molars and they grind everything to a powder, so they're very, very good at chewing. While there's always a possibility of choking, even on their dried food, they don't seem to do it.
No. So far, so good, but always worth noting. I guess if there's something that makes them quiet, it does give us. Because it's of an evening, normally it's crash bang all night, and even Bob can be quite quiet when he's had chicken.
Oh, just reading the comments, I just want to say thank you to Chloe, who's been a bit fed up recently, haven't we? Just a bit down. Maybe it's the January blues, maybe it's other things. But Chloe has been really, really kind today, so I want to thank Chloe publicly for being a good girl. I think we're just about out of time, aren't we?
Annette's said that Floki's much happier these days as well, and that's good because I kind of knew when he was a baby he was probably going to be one of them ones that had to be neutered. He was quite full of himself, wasn't he, as a baby?
He was quite full on. He was lovely.
But I'm glad he's now... I think Floki is going to go on to be an Arthur.
In fact, they're not related. They're actually a different line. But Mary Ann's Gus Jr. reminds me a lot of Floki.
Yeah.
He does. So watch out.
I think it's actually to be expected that you need to get the males done if they start going that way.
Well, the way that I compare it, really, not all of the males need to be done. I know that Linda and me were talking about Kojo earlier, and Kojo's 9 months old, and he's shown no sexual
I don't think they all will, but
at all, which is brilliant. But you can ask yourself, if you're looking at the ethics, would you want to keep an uncut tomcat in your house?
Yeah.
Oh, probably not, unless you want to breed from them. They're probably nicer pets and happier animals to have them done.
Yeah.
Very simple operation, and we've...
Well, I think Bob's happier since we've had Bob done.
I think Bob's happier. He's not as frantic.
He's not so bothered. Well,
yeah.
They both him, Arthur and Bob, will still hump. Another female, but it seems like a different reason.
Yeah, I'm quite keen to sort of get Bob out over the weekend actually and see how he is with me now.
I would be interested in seeing.
Yeah, because he's a lovely boy. Bob.
Oh, he's good.
Rat.
He's a pain because he's so intelligent and he knows what he's doing and he knows how to open zips. He would
have been the one riding on the ox's back.
I think he'd do that even
and
if it wasn't a
sneaking
race.
past the cat. Yeah. You would, yeah.
Chasing the cat.
He's learned to open a cat flap. He's learned to open zips so that you can get into my handbag, your backpacks, my makeup bag.
He's definitely the father of Sally, because Sally is everything that Bob is, but worse.
She's not quite as bright. She's more sort of smash and grab. Bob will sit there and think things through.
So Bob would be the master criminal who plans everything, and does the does the job.
Yeah.
And Sally would just be a smash the windows with a crowbar and steal all the jewellery sort of person.
Yeah, they could make an excellent father-daughter team.
I think they would in the sense that because of her, Bob would get caught. I just think I need to Photoshop them both now with like...
I'm thinking about that, yeah.
with things on. And a swag bag.
A mask and a stripy top.
Full of my toothbrush.
And my eyeshadow applicators and my blusher brush that Bob ran off with.
Oh, she's getting good at it because a couple of times I've gone to get my toothbrush and it's gone. And so I'm now staying out the room when Sally comes out because she just makes a beeline for me and she just sinks her teeth right. And there's no introduction, just straight to it. But she's now stealing my toothbrush and hiding it in her bed without you even clocking she's done it.
Yeah.
She's done that twice now.
They're very... very sneaky. To get an electric toothbrush, which isn't a light thing, down the stairs without it going ba-dum, 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 ba-dum on each stair and get it into a cage.
And then weeing on it afterwards.
Well, that's just to make it special.
Oh, but it stinks.
I know it stinks.
I have to sit there and wash it, and even then there's like
it's better than going down the toilet with Arthur's poo.
Which it's done as well,
It's done that as well. It's seen some life, that toothbrush, and it's also had its rubber stripped off it round the edge, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Oh.
Is there anything else you want to cover?
I don't think there is. I think we're unpouched for now.
I think we are unpouched. We always worry we're never going to make the half an hour, but we still made the half an hour.
Let's have a little look at the posts before we go, because we're massively grateful to everyone for chipping in. This is why we do it. It's really good. The coronavirus. Just love to everyone in China on the Year of the Rat, because
it's going to have ruined a lot of families' plans, I think.
It's a massive public celebration, and due to the risks in some parts of China, people aren't able to do that this year. And obviously they're all very worried about their family and their welfare. I'm
quite concerned about how quickly it's spread. I mean, it's more closely related to SARS, I guess. It's not as an aggressive form of SARS, but it's still potentially to be quite devastating. So,
and proportionally, when you think about the size of China, it's contained to what would be a small area in China, but it's not a small area and it's not a rich area, so a lot of people are going to be in danger.
Well, the city it came from has literally been quarantined now, the whole town, the whole city, and it's large.
Guangzhou, is it?
The population is larger than London. Puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah. So let's have a little moment to think about these people and hope that the Year of the Rat brings them luck and health.
Well,
really soon.
just hopefully it doesn't spread further.
Yeah, we don't want it.
No. Well, it's over here.
Flip that.
People have been tested for it over here, haven't they?
So has anyone tested positive?
I think there have been people who've been tested for it. I don't know what the test results have been, but these sort of things, it's got a ridiculously long incubation period. That's the difference. It's like a 14-day incubation period. Yeah,
people are saying, well, why can't the temperature scan everyone going through the airport? It wouldn't really work.
It doesn't until the virus sheds.
Yeah.
And if anything, when it sheds, well, I'm making assumptions based on what I know about viruses, but most viruses only present symptoms when they shed, and they don't shed, and they're not contagious when they shed. No. So you're contagious before you even know you've got it.
It's problems like chicken pox.
Well, it's the problem when I had swine flu, because whoever gave it to me when I had it, I would have had no idea they had it. No. And I certainly wouldn't have known they had it.
You knew when it broke, though, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, because I was almost dying.
Yeah, seriously ill. So let's hope that everyone in China is a little bit more fortunate and that they all recover. What else have we got? Let's stop talking about viruses. Separated at birth, yes and and Floki is still humping for England. That's a nice note to end it on.
It is. We're like a humpy rat.
Yeah.
A positive humper.
Happy humping, love to China, and happy Year of the Rat to everyone, and thank you for watching.
Yeah, and we'll see you again in a fortnight.
Bye for now.
Bye for now, everyone.
Bye.
We'll leave you out on the intro. Bye for now.